Okay, this first example is just to look at deconstructing a web page using developer tools. So every browser these days has developer tools built in, and they tend to be quite consistent about how what you can access and how you access it. If you right click anywhere in the page, choose an element and then try and inspect it, on a smaller web page you will probably find the information you're looking for almost immediately, but in something like BBC you have really got to look. I've gone through CSS style sheets, looking for different files. I've gone through a whole range of methods, and it's a combination that really works. So yeah, a combination of ways. The first thing we really want to do though is to get like a persistent record just in case they change the page. This is more for our purposes of copying it than anything else. So what I do is using Opera I can save the whole page as a PDF. You can print as PDF as well, but this seems to be really reliable actually, compared to print as PDF in Chrome. So I'm just going to put that in my images folder, so I've got that to refer to if I ever need to. And then the search. So I right click and I inspect an element. Look around the elements and see what you can pick up, and you'll see some pretty crazy HTML and JavaScript and CSS all mingled together when you do this. Don't be scared of it. It's largely bulked out. This page doesn't need to be this complex unless it's part of a huge website which is data driven and is all about monitoring where everyone goes and has a real structural approach to everything. So what we make will be much simpler. I'm going to inspect this image. I can see here that we've got an A tag, and that is pointing to the episode on iPlayer. That should stand out. And if we go inside, we can see is the end of the A tag, a little bit of information there, which is going into the H2. Weirdly, the link's inside of the H2, I'm not sure. And then media details, and then we've got the before, and so we're looking around in this box here to see what we can pick up on, if we can find anything, background colors or images we're looking for in particular. And I'm scrolling down and I see this relationship here, media panel, and it highlights on the screen what kind of area you're working on or looking at. I click on the media panel and I'm still trying to find something in there. I think I'm getting closer to it. All you can see on the left hand side here is the rules that relate to the thing that you've selected and the things that are inherited from other places. Ratio box, click on that, keep on following it. Oh, and I go inside, and in this case there's a load of images, different sizes, and I'm just going to choose the biggest one. What you can do usually is right click on a link inside of the console and just say I'd like to open that in a new tab to see it. And there we go, we can see the image. It's a good size. This is going to serve our purposes pretty well. So then I'm just going to right click and save that image as. Now I've already saved this, to be fair, and what I've done is I've created a folder called BBC Killing Eve example. You should do the same. And then inside that I've created a folder called images. That's where I'm going to save the files. Now the files have all got funny hash names, to be honest, which will have some meaning somewhere, but not to us. So I'm just going with a meaningful name. I've renamed it Killing Eve promo.jpg. So another way of doing this is, so you keep on inspecting the elements, digging around, seeing if you can find different things, but you can also go to sources, and in the sources we're looking through, especially on the BBC. So we've got branding. If I go inside of branding live, there's a folder called images and CSS. You can go inside the CSS file and see what's in there. or we can click on these images. This one doesn't seem to make sense. I'm going to right click it, open a new tab. Oh look, it's the background image and it's pretty big. Another one there. Look at that one, open a new tab, even bigger. And then again, open a new tab, we've got the logo. So you just right click and save that image, and right click and save that image so that we've got all of the images that we need. There are other places you can look. iChef, bbci.co.uk. These are obviously image sizes. So we've got images from elsewhere in the page, but the main ones here. So I'm going to want to be saving all of these images, because if you look on the page, they relate to this section here about Killing Eve, and that's our main focus. Our main focus in this example is this area underneath the main BBC navigation, with the Killing Eve, with its own sub-navigation, with the images, and so we're looking to come up with a basic grid layout to start off with of that area, and we're not going to worry too much about what goes beyond it. You can create a footer in a similar manner, you can create a header in a similar manner to this, so we're focusing on the middle part. So I can right click, copy the link address, or open a new tab. So it's just a case of going through them, open that image, saving that image as, and so on and so forth. To actually get those images that I've shown before, you can inspect the element. You can then go through and eventually come to the media panel and find that image, and there you go, we've got the different images. But it's as much of a muchness. I think I prefer the sources because it's all there in front of you. So those are a few approaches to finding images and other information. The only one that I didn't show you was CSS. So let's go into a CSS file. You can right click a CSS file, open that in a tab, see what's got in it. And if you use Control F to find things, well, we know that we're looking for images. So we look for PNG. Are there any PNGs in there? There are some PNGs in there. So we go and find those files. Sometimes the link that is given is the full link. I can tell that here because of the forward slashes before it. So I just basically go to that web address. There we go. We've got a smaller version of that. Go back. There's 3 PNGs, so you do the same thing. And I can also search for JPEG. Doesn't need to be any of those. Or any SVGs. Doesn't seem to be any of those, but I know that there are some of SVGs in some of the other style sheets in some of the folders. There are other images around and about. If you keep looking around, you might find some image folders kicking around. There's some image files there. We've got logos, the BBC One logo. We might need that. Static.bbci. Frameworks, no, it's just some jQuery stuff. It's JavaScript, I'm not interested in that. Static, what's in there? Oh, there's an SVG in there of your icon sprites. We won't be using that. I'll skip that one. So just keep on digging around. You'll find some other CSS and images. I think, yeah, in Orbit, there's some images in there. Oh, there's the BBC logo. We're probably going to want that, so you can right click and save it. We probably don't need the orb GIF, but this we probably do. Right click, save. Now, what's weird is if you go into an SVG page, I'm just going to close that down for a second, and it's a white SVG, then it's going to seem like it's not there. Just inspect the element again, and what I'm going to do is click on the plus, and in this case I'm going to put in a background color of black, and all of a sudden you can see it's there. So you can use this in some quite surprising ways when you're delving around the website, especially for deconstructing it like this.